what's up YouTube? It's your brother YT Wake 'em up, back at it again with another video. Los Angeles begins mass layoffs. Entire cities fire workers. Entire cities are letting workers go in Los Angeles. The cost of living already high out there. You already need like 10 jobs to survive in LA. Realistically, you have to have multiple jobs. You have to have all types of side hustles, do gig work. You got to have a bunch of different streams of income to survive in LA because it's extremely expensive. Family, you already know what to do. And if you're brand new, 2 thumbs up this video so YouTube can push this content out. Smash subscribe to join the tribe and ring the post notification bell as well. All right, let's get into it.
I got laid off Friday.
So I just got laid off from my full-time job a few days ago, which means I'm about to lose access to healthcare.
So LA right now, Los Angeles, is deciding to fire a crap load of people this summer. And over 600 layoffs are on the table, and some people are saying there's even more, as a lot of people are saying that the total amount of layoffs could be around like 1,600 people. And that was back in April. Now it's the summer. And we're going to be seeing some of the biggest layoffs happening to one of the biggest cities in America. And this comes right around the time when Denver is deciding to fire thousands as well, starting mid-August. And a lot of these cities all have one thing in common. They overdid certain things that caused them to go broke. Really poor budgeting, which is causing a lot of people right now in America to complain, why is it so hard to find a job? You got a bunch of people being laid off. A bunch of people don't have a job right now. People are applying to hundreds of places and can't get anywhere. And a lot of it is because of the federal layoffs, the tech layoffs, H-1B visa programs, people coming overseas to America to work. You know, a lot of jobs are gone. Now we got entire cities laying people off. I mean, we talk about how companies lay people off, but no, 2025 is the year where cities are firing people. So basically, Los Angeles says that over 600 layoffs are on the table and their budget is being stretched super thin. A lot of police people are going to be fired off. The fire department is going to do some layoffs here and there, and a lot of just the random areas as well conducting layoffs. Because one of the most expensive things for any company and even city is going to be employees. But the thing is, LA didn't really have to do that. But the thing is, LA and basically all of California have this immigration problem, and they basically overspend a crap load of money. And one nonpartisan group estimated that California spent roughly $22 billion on illegal immigration in 2022, the most out of any state. Okay, there's also about concerns of expanding healthcare programs to a lot of immigrants, which is costing billions of dollars annually. I mean, we talk about how, you know, New York City's doing a lot of this, Chicago's doing this, and Denver's doing this, but nobody's doing it as more as a state of California. These people have went all out on the migrant crisis and basically bankrupt themselves. And the people who are going to be paying for it are going to be people who are going to be laying off, okay? The people who are going to be losing their jobs and all the hiring freeze that's going on, that is going to be the payment. And it sucks because a lot of people want to work for these cities because the pay and benefits are good, but they can't get in, which results to a lot of people complaining about what the job market is so bad. Also, a bunch of people who used to work for the city are now being laid off. And it honestly is kind of sad. And just to make things worse, the Supreme Court clears way for Trump to pursue mass federal layoffs. So all those people complaining about how hard the job market is, the job market really is hard. At this point in 2025, we got entire cities conducting layoffs. How crazy is that? Check out some of these videos. Nobody is happy right now.
Get a brand new, super efficient air conditioning system installed and do not put a single penny down in the process. That's right, guys. Not only is this system going to keep your home perfectly cool,
it drives me nuts. Why does it take 10 years to apply to one singular job? One singular job. It's a full-time job just applying to jobs to find another job. First, you have to find a good job listing and ones that aren't scams. You can't just use Indeed. You can't just use LinkedIn. You got to like scour the internet. And then when you find the job listing, you have to go to the company's actual website and click their careers page and find the job listing there and apply through the company website. How to do all the digging. You can't just do like easy apply on Indeed or LinkedIn or anything like that. Nothing can be easy about finding a job. They have to make it as hard as possible for you. Once you've actually found a good, decent job listing where they're not asking you to give away your whole entire soul and first child for $30,000 a year, now you need to apply. You click on apply. You have to make an account. You have to make an account. You have to make a username and password for an account for this website that you're probably never going to log into again. So then you make the account. Oh, and I forgot, before you upload your resume, you need to go to your resume and remake it so it is perfectly for that job listing. Like, you have to go through your resume and tweak it for every single job that you apply to.
You got to do all of that work just to not hear back from the employer, just to get denied, just for them to waste your time if you go to the interview, or to make you do 4, 5, 6 rounds of interviews just for them to tell you that they don't want you. It is a whole job applying for jobs. She breaking it down to the T.
To like different types of jobs. You have to tweak it and make sure all the keywords that are in that job listing are in your resume, or else it's not going to make it through the little AI whatever system that they send all the resumes through. You're applying to the job. You upload your resume thinking, okay, I'm going to upload my resume. It's going to autofill everything for me so I don't have to type everything out again. No, you upload your resume and then it either doesn't populate or it does it wrong. And so you still have to go through every single field and fill it out yourself and fix it. And then once you get through all of that, sometimes they ask for references. And so then you've got to fill out all the references. Who even asks for references these days? I feel like 95% of people lie on the references anyways and have like their friends, and they just know like, hey, I'm applying to jobs. If somebody calls you about me, just like say good things. Like,
Right.
This is what I said that you do. Most people lie about that anyways, not saying I do. Not saying I do. And then after you get through that, I've had some of them ask for letters from my references. Once I got to that point, I hit the X. I got out of that window so quick. Nope, I ain't doing that. And then once you've done all that, you got to do like the gender and race and ethnicity, all those questions, which those are usually easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And sometimes they get you right at the end. They get you right at the end when you think you're done. And they're like, they give you like a little question window, and they ask you, now tell us about yourself and why you think you would be a great fit for our company. And then you have to write a paragraph about yourself, a perfectly worded paragraph about yourself. Are you kidding me? And then after you've written your perfectly worded paragraph about yourself of why you are the most perfect person in the whole entire world, then you can finally submit it. And then you will 95% of the time never hear anything back from all that effort you just put in.
That's exactly what I said. Exactly what I said. Do all of that just to not even get a response back. Man, I'm exhausted just hearing her go down the process. It's draining me just thinking about it. And you have to do that for each individual job.
Not even a rejection. Like, just send me a rejection email a week later. That's all I need. It drives me nuts. This is why I'm going insane.
I give up on trying to find a summer job. I just got back from a job interview, if you could even call it that. She asked me like 3 questions and interrupted me while I was answering the first 2 and went straight to my availability. And I told her I was completely open on both weekdays and weekends. Then she asked me again if I was available on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I don't know about you, but I think if I say that I'm available on weekdays and weekends, that includes Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. And
It
then I
does.
explained to her that I have a seasonal sports job, which I was explaining that in the first question when she said to tell me about myself. I was talking about my job. But I told her that I have a seasonal youth sports job where I only work Saturday mornings, but I would still be able to work afternoons and evenings on Saturday, so I'm like flexible. And then she asked me how old I was, and I said I was 19. And then she proceeded to tell me that they specifically are asking a lot about the Friday, Saturday, and Sundays because those are peak business hours. She said that weekdays don't really matter as much to them because their peak hours are on those days. She said that when they hire young people, they call out a lot or they can't make it on those days. And yeah, she was basically just telling me all this stuff about young people like me and basically just generalized me and lumped me into the younger generation that I am a part of. I'm gonna be honest, even if I were to get the job, which I don't think I will because honestly, I don't think she has any intention of hiring me because of my age, but even if I were to get a job offer, I don't think I would work there. And like, I really want to work and I'm like desperate to work. It's the only reason that I applied to this place in the first place because I was sure that I was going to get an interview and that like it was possible. But now I just, no. But no, that completely turned me off and completely rubbed me the wrong way, the fact that she even brought that up. There was no reason for her to bring that up. It was incredibly unprofessional. The entire interview was unprofessional. I was constantly interrupted. She barely asked me anything, like any actual real questions, and then she generalized me. So yeah.
The entire job market is unprofessional and ghetto. It's very ghetto. The job market is not the old job market. It's a new job market. This new job market, employers are brutal. The work, brutal. The pay, horrible. The competition, extreme. Man, oh man.
I will not be accepting that job offer if I even get one, which again, I don't think I will, but if I do, I'm not accepting it because fuck that. And older generations and people love to say that younger people like me don't want to work and that we're lazy and we don't want to do anything. That is not the case. We do want to work. I have been looking for a job since the beginning of May. It's the beginning of July. I have still not been able to find a job. I've applied literally everywhere. I've gone through the process with multiple places. I either get declined or I go through the entire interview process and then get like ghosted afterwards. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to be chasing after these companies that don't want me. And I'm also not going to settle for companies that are miscommunicating things to me or doing generalized statements like that towards me either. That's disgusting. But yeah, I've completely given up on trying to find a summer job. I'm done. I can't do it. I'm just going to try again come fall when a bunch of people start leaving their summer jobs and see if I have better luck then. But I'm done. I can't take it anymore. That's it.
I got laid off today after 10 years at the most amazing company. I didn't think it would happen, but like I kind of thought it would happen at some point. I got the email. Your role has been impacted. And today, let me tell you, has been a whirlwind of emotion. And I think that a lot of people, when they get laid off, they're sad, they're angry, it is what it is. To me, this is just another sign that God has always had my back and that there are more blessings coming. And I wasn't even gonna post this because there's a lot of haters out there I need to put my evil eye on. But I'm just so thankful. So if I've ever worked with you or this comes across your page and you were my client at one point, thank you. Drop in the comments a memory of working with me. And if you know of anyone that's hiring, holler at your girl. I think I'm going to document this journey. Okay, love y'all.
Real talk right now, but when is the last time you were unemployed? Because if you have not been unemployed in 2025, you have no idea how difficult the job market is right now to find a job.
Facts. Comment below, when was the last time you were unemployed? Because there's a disconnect from those that have been employed for the last 10, 15, 20 years and those that are currently actively seeking a job. The people that have been employed and haven't been let go, they give advice that's not useful for this job market. They give advice that won't benefit anybody. They give old, outdated lectures. I'm saying old, outdated lectures, meaning the information that you're spewing out is old and outdated. That lecture is pointless. People are not lazy. People want to work. In actuality, people are working harder than ever or trying harder than ever to get a job if they're not working. A lot of the information that is spewed out to people is not accurate.
Honestly, I used to work for LinkedIn and I have a ton of feelings and thoughts about why that platform is not really supporting people in their job search right now. It's because it really is geared towards companies, and companies have inherent biases towards people who aren't actively employed. They believe that those people are a less desirable population. But if you see a job description and it says you need 5 years of experience and you have 5 years of experience, I don't believe that the timing of that experience should impact it. This is the same thing that holds women who have children back from re-entering the workforce because they have experience from prior to taking their maternity leave, and it makes it so much more difficult. It also creates resume gaps. And what we are going to be seeing in this market is more resume gaps and more people who have had to take a break from what they, typically do because there are just fewer jobs right now
That's
in the
true.
market. There's not as much investing from VC and from the stock market into organizations right now. There's not a lot of money getting pumped into companies for their growth and for their hiring. And so companies have to be very selective about hiring employees. And a lot of times they will just default, or they're going to try to embrace AI transformation to limit the amount of employees that they have to hire, because it will be cheaper to use AI over real humans. I do not agree with this. I believe that we need to bring back humanity into hiring, which is why I am trying to bring people together who live in Denver next month for a rooftop charity fundraiser to support people experiencing unemployment, because just because it's not happening to you right now does not mean that it cannot happen to you. And
I agree. Just because it's not happening to you right now does not mean it cannot happen to you. That's a very true statement. And I didn't think about the resume gaps. Jobs want to know, why weren't you working from, for example, 2024 to 2025? Or why weren't you working for the last 2 years or 3 years? Because nobody was hiring. I wanted to, but I couldn't get a job. It took me years to get one. That's going to be the answer for a lot of people. Not because you just didn't want to work. Not because you were living your best life. Not because you just took a sabbatical. Nah. I put in that time frame, probably 10,000 applications, and nobody hired me. That's going to be the answer they're going to hear a lot. I guarantee you.
We want people to feel like they can enter a space where they can have the opportunity to get connected with net new opportunities. So if you live in Denver and you're interested, link in my bio. And if you just want to support and you don't live in Denver, you can buy a ticket on behalf of someone else who is experiencing unemployment, and that karma will always come full circle, come back around. Let me know what you think in the comments. Mwah.
I got laid off a few weeks ago from Microsoft, and to be honest, I don't necessarily feel stressed about finding a job. Doesn't mean I'm not putting all my energy into it. I'm getting a ton of rejections. I've applied to definitely over 100 jobs now in the last few weeks. You need to continuously bounce back. The only substantial thing I have right now is the Accenture path right now. I am so privileged to have been laid off from Microsoft because I basically go 3 months without working, but I get paid the same. I feel like I don't really have room to complain because I was able to work at Microsoft right out of college for 3 years. And I know all of this stuff came from my hard work ethic, and obviously you can tell my job series, a girl never took a day off.
Okay, I'm a college student and I can't find a job. I have applied to over 100 jobs. I haven't heard back from anyone. No one will call me back. I don't know what to do now. I really need money because of school. The tuition is so high right now. Plus all my bills and living expenses. It's so much right now. I have been doing dog walking in the area, so I have made a little bit of money from that. I made about $500 from that the 1 month. And then I've also been using the Claim app. I can go on there and claim class action settlements. I made about $500 from that last month. That's not enough for all my bills. So where have you guys been applying at while in college to make money, or what are other side jobs you guys have been doing?
People still make money from dog walking. That's interesting. I guess nobody has time to walk their dogs, so this is still a profitable business because the lack of time. I didn't know that people still made money doing that. Dog walking, huh?
Okay, guys. At this point, I'm gonna have to start selling feet pictures because this job market is unreal. I have never seen a job market like this. I've never had so much trouble finding a job.
Nobody has.
When can anybody ever tell me before that you have applied for hundreds and hundreds of jobs? I have years of experience in healthcare, in customer service, in education. I have a bachelor's degree that I can't even use. At this point, I have applied for more than 600 jobs. I am running out of thoughts to put on cover letters. I am running out of everything. Am I using ChatGPT? Absolutely. Aren't we all? Because we don't know what else to say on the cover letters. We're trying to tweak our bullet points or our summaries because we don't know what else to say. And the fact that I have to just end up waiting a few more days to go back on LinkedIn or Indeed or even just different company websites because it's the same thing, because I'm applying so much and it's constantly the same jobs. But the problem also is that these are ghost jobs. They're not even real. Where you continue to see the same job that reposted 2 weeks ago, and yet it says, 100 people have clicked on it. Well, then obviously they're just not even looking. But this is absolutely unreal. Obviously, costs are up. I'm in Illinois, so we've got tax on tax on tax on tax on tax. So our gas is nearing $4 because we have a new gas tax, and then we have the tax on the gas tax. And how are people supposed to survive? And I'm so tired of hearing like, oh, people are lazy and they don't want to work. Are you kidding me? I know I am not the only one. I see these TikToks all the time. People applying for hundreds of jobs. We're trying. Like, it's not a bunch of lazy people. Are there lazy people out there? Of course there are. But we're being put in with a lot of people that don't want to work when we're trying. I've seen people on LinkedIn who have applied for more than 1,000 jobs, which I'm not far from. But this is absolutely unbelievable. And I have applied, look, my bachelor's is in the healthcare field. Would I take something in customer service, or right now I just kind of do a little bit of side hustling education, like tutoring and stuff? Just give me a job where I can pay the bills and have some benefits. I don't think that's too much to ask for.
She has put in so many applications that she has to wait for more jobs to upload listings for her to continue applying. This is the problem for a lot of people too. They have to wait for more job offers, for more job postings or listings to show up. If you got to wait 2 days in between, that's adding to the time too. Who would ever thought that people working in the medical field would struggle to get employment? Who would ever thought those that are in the trucking industry even would struggle? I was watching a video yesterday. It was a guy who was a trucker and he had got evicted. And I said, I remember the trucking industry used to be, a major moneymaker. Now those that are truckers are struggling due to tariffs, due to the rates being lower than usual, due to oversaturation, everybody getting into the industry because they thought it was a quick, easy buck. Many different factors. Every single industry is struggling pretty much. If you know an industry that's not struggling, that's thriving, comment below. Let the people know which industry should they be searching for a job in. Maybe there's one that, slipped under the radar or something. Let the people know.
In college graduate, you're first generation, and you live in Los Angeles, and you're currently applying to jobs, please, please, please be my friend or consider joining me as I apply to jobs in LA. I graduated 2 months ago, and sometimes I feel really stressed out and really sad, angry, and just embarrassed that I haven't found a full-time role yet. And I know people are like, oh, it's just been 2 months, it just, but especially being someone who came from who graduated from a college where everyone was super high achieving, everyone somehow graduated with full-time role positions. It definitely feels a little stressful for me. And also as someone who is first gen, sometimes I feel really stressed out that I don't have a job yet, especially because I want to be able to support my family or help them in any way possible. So if you're on the same boat and you live in Los Angeles and you just want to hold each other accountable, we can meet up at coffee shops, help each other out, have a little community where we can just rant, apply to jobs together. I would love that. And literally just hit me up if you see this video, comment. If you're in the LA area, I would love to have a community of other students who feel the same way, or just give each other hope, because it is a stressful situation. So if anyone wants to join, let me know.
I feel bad for the recent grads, the recent graduates that went to school for X amount of years, 2 to 4 years or more, got out thinking that they would have a job or it would be easy. And it's a completely different world than what they thought. It's a completely different reality than what they were sold. 2 months is not a long time. It's not. 'Cause she's about to learn that it's going to take her much longer than that. But these graduates, they get out thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to get a job. And then they find out it's not many jobs. I was sold a lie. Man, I feel bad for the youngins, for the 2000 babies. It's really hard for them. You think it's hard for us, it's really hard for them. It's hard for everybody though. But I'm just saying, you get what I'm saying? It's hard for everybody, but it's super hard for them. They didn't even have a chance. Family, let me know what y'all think about this video. Drop a comment below. Share this video out with those that might need to see it. Maybe somebody doesn't know that it's this hard in the job market and they're saying, oh, you're just lazy. Send this video to them to wake them up, to show them, no, I'm not lazy. This is what's happening. This is what's going on. This is the job market. It's not the 90s no more. It's not the 80s no more. I appreciate y'all, family. Peace to my Hebrew fam. Shalom. I will catch y'all on the next one.